Throughout history, Christians and Muslims have both spoken passionately about Jesus. But when it comes to Muhammad, the conversation often becomes difficult, especially for Christians trying to understand Islam historically, and for Muslims trying to understand why Christians see Jesus as unique. Today, we're not asking which faith feels familiar. We're asking a historical question. When we compare the lives and teachings of Jesus and Muhammad using their own sources, what do we actually find? To be fair, we need to be consistent. When we talk about Jesus, we'll use the Bible. When we talk about Muhammad, we'll use Islamic sources, the Quran, Sahih Hadith, and early Islamic history, not Christian polemics, not hostile critics, primary sources. Only then can a real comparison happen. Jesus Christ lived under Roman occupation. He held no political office. He commanded no army. He enforced no laws. When crowds attempted to make him king, the Gospel of John tells us he withdrew from them. Later, standing before the Roman governor Pilate, Jesus explains his mission clearly. My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight. Jesus explicitly separates his message from political power and violence. Muhammad lived in a very different context. According to Islamic sources, Muhammad was not only a prophet, he became the political leader of Medina, a lawgiver, and a military commander. The Quran presents Muhammad as an example to be followed. Indeed, in the Messenger of Allah, you have an excellent example for whoever hopes in Allah and the last day and remembers Allah often. This means Muhammad's actions are not merely historical details. They are part of Islamic moral guidance. Jesus taught something radical for his time. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This teaching was lived out. When Jesus was arrested and one of his disciples drew a sword, Jesus stopped him. Put your sword back in its place, he said, and Luke records that he healed the man's ear. Even as he was being executed, Jesus prayed, Father, forgive them. Forgiveness, not retaliation, defined his response. Islamic sources describe a different approach. In Sahih Bukhari, Muhammad is reported to have said, I have been commanded to fight the people until they testify that there is no God but Allah. Early Islamic biographies, including Ibn Ishaq, record events such as the punishment of the Banu Qurayza, where adult males were executed after surrender. This account is also referenced in Sahih Bukhari 362. These accounts come from Islamic tradition itself, not from Christian critics. Jesus consistently rejected violence as a means of advancing his mission. Christianity spread for nearly 3 centuries without armies or political power. Believers were persecuted, imprisoned, and killed, yet they did not retaliate. Their witness was rooted in sacrifice, not force. The Quran, however, includes commands related to warfare. For example, fight those who neither believe in Allah nor in the last day until they pay the tax willingly, submitting fully. Historically, Islam spread through both preaching and military expansion. This is widely acknowledged by Muslim and non-Muslim historians alike. Jesus lived a life of self-giving humility. He never married. He owned no wealth. He washed the feet of his followers. He taught, the greatest among you will be your servant. Jesus never claimed special moral exemptions for himself. The Quran grants Muhammad permissions unique to him. O Prophet, we have made lawful to you your wives, a privilege for you only. Islamic hadith also record that Muhammad married Aisha at a young age, with consummation occurring later. These reports come directly from Sahih Bukhari, Islam's most trusted hadith collection. Again, these are not accusations, they are Islamic sources. Jesus forgave sins, something only God can do. He accepted worship. He spoke of himself as existing before Abraham. I am the way, the truth, and the life, he said. Jesus did not merely point to God, he claimed to reveal God. Muhammad explicitly denied divinity. Say, I am only a man like you. According to Sahih Bukhari, Muhammad also stated that he did not know his own eternal fate. This contrast is significant. Jesus speaks with divine authority. Muhammad speaks as a messenger. Jesus openly predicted his death. He said he would be crucified, that he would lay his life down willingly, and that he would take it up again. In the Gospels, Jesus explains his death before it happens. No one takes my life from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. In the New Testament, Jesus' death is not presented as divine judgment against him. It is presented as voluntary sacrifice followed by the claim of resurrection. After his death, there was no political structure left behind, no army, no law to enforce belief. The message spread without coercion through witness, suffering, and proclamation. The Quran also speaks directly about the death of a messenger, specifically in the context of false revelation. In Surah 69:44-46, Allah states that if a messenger were to fabricate revelation, he would seize him and cut his aorta. This passage has been interpreted in different ways within Islam, but the principle itself is clearly stated in the text. Near the end of his life, Muhammad is recorded as saying, "I feel as if my aorta is being cut because of the poison I ate." Sahih Bukhari 44:28. These are Islamic sources placed side by side. Muslims and Christians interpret them differently, but historically both statements exist in the texts. Muhammad died as the ruler of Arabia. The political structure remained, the law remained, the community remained unified. Islam continued as both a religious faith and a governing system. Two deaths, recorded very differently, understood very differently, and that difference matters. This comparison is not about hatred. Muslims are people made in the image of God. But history matters. Character matters. Truth matters. When we compare Jesus and Muhammad using their own sources, we don't find two identical figures. We find two very different lives, two very different missions, and two very different kinds of kingdoms. Jesus conquers hearts through sacrifice. Muhammad governs through law and authority. Understanding that difference is essential, especially for anyone seeking to understand Christianity historically. If you're ready to learn, grow, and speak truth in love, join us. Subscribe now. The conversation starts here.